Welcome to this new video, episode 14 of transforming the laundry room into a bathroom. If you missed earlier episodes, there's a playlist for you. The link in the description takes you to this playlist where you can find all previous episodes, including the last one about installing drywall panels. This time, we'll focus on the shower niches. I have two to install, including a custom one with an integrated LED strip. So for the niches, I'm not going to install them at just any height. I'm doing it based on the tile, even though I haven't received it yet. So what I did is I cut a board to the height of my tile. Because I know I want 30 by 60 or 30 by 90, I could have chosen a square format, like 45 by 45 for example. But on the floor, the square format doesn't bother me. But on the walls, I think it looks really ugly. I want a rectangular format, not 30 by 60, or at worst 30 by 90. So I cut a board and added 2 mm for the joints. And you, if you have tall tiles, you lay them out on the floor and keep the joints even. 2 mm, 3 mm, 4 mm, you measure and add it up. Look at how it lines up with your fixtures. Window, door, niche, the height of the wall. To avoid having a 2 centimeter strip under the niche, under the window, at the floor or at the ceiling. That would really look ugly. So in a moment, I'll take the camera and film the panel where I've marked all my tile heights using this board. And earlier, I mentioned 30 by 60 or 30 by 90. But there are some tile manufacturers who will say yes, it's 30 by 60, but it's actually 29.6 or 30.4, but it's better for it to be a little more than a little less. Because if you really go with 30 and your tile is 29.6, you'll definitely end up with a gap after a while and you'll find yourself with a 2 cm empty strip at the top. So make sure if the manufacturer tells you it's 30 by 60, that it's at least 30 or 30.4. Now, I need to determine my starting point. I'm on a concrete slab. We've broken the screed, so I no longer have a reference point for my finished floor. I'll need to determine this starting point for my tile. For that, I'm going to use a laser and I'll set it to a horizontal line. I'm going to put it on a table or on a chair. The height doesn't matter at all. The idea is that I can see it in the room where I'm working and in the house with the existing floor. So I put it on a table. You can see it behind me. It's set down, we don't touch it at all. We're going to take a batten, an angle bracket, whatever. It's going to serve as our gauge. You can take a tape measure and measure, but honestly the gauge is much faster. So this gauge, we're going to place it on the existing tile floor in the house. I put the gauge down, so I have the laser on the gauge. I take a marker, I make a mark on the laser line. We especially don't touch the laser, we move around in the work area. And I lower my gauge with the mark that's on it onto the laser line. And I take the marker and I draw under and that shows me the difference in level between the slab and my finished floor. So now that we have our starting point, we can create another structure and install the niche in the structure. And then we'll tackle this one, which will be custom made with the LED strip. So let me make a side note, because in this structure, there will be a mixing valve. The mixing valve will be exactly the same as the one for the bathtub. I'm not going to install them now, because ideally, I'd like to install them all on the same day, do the whole installation. Of course, I'll film it for you. So what we're going to do is I'll take a stud. I have video fix. You see, even with one hand, you can install them. There, it's installed. I'm only going to close this panel so I can connect to it and create the niche that will run all along. And then, when we start doing the plumbing and installing the mixing valves, of course we'll put the drywall back. The tape that will be applied between the two drywall panels, the waterproofing, you know the drill. So I'm removing the stud. As you can see, it comes off very easily. This is the video fix system I have. I had installed the tracks on the floor, on the ceiling, and against this panel to have a stop for my drywall in the previous episode. I invite you to watch it. I'm going to show you a few clips, and this time we'll focus on the studs. These are telescopic studs, so there's no need to cut them again. Geberit offers several heights. Here I'm at 2 meters 47, and as you can see, I'm installing it. And that's it. I don't need to cut them. I don't need to add any extra fasteners. It clips into the top rail and grips into the bottom rail. And honestly, you could hang from it. It's extremely sturdy. It's made to support frames, whether it's for a toilet or a shower. You can put this right in the middle of a room and install a support frame. You don't need to look for a reinforcement point in a load-bearing wall. So this structure will support another niche. We're going to build exactly the same one on this partition for the toilet, for the sink, for the bathtub. We'll talk about it again. So for now, I'm taking the camera and filming what I've marked out for the tiles. My starting point, I even drew a line 1 meter from the finished floor, which I can use later. I wrote on the walls, I even drew a line 1 meter from the finished floor. Now it's not mandatory with the laser, I could just manage without it. But if you kick it every time, it's going to move. Drawing this line is helpful for the rest of the work. I based this line on the finished floor, shown here inside the circle. I initially planned to place it there, but changed my mind after reconsidering. I'm setting it 1 centimeter higher than the finished floor of the house, and you'll understand why. It will have an impact on the rest of the work. So next, a piece of wood, we cut it to the height of the tile plus the grout joints. We place it on the finished floor mark. We draw, we go up, all the way to the ceiling. And here, it's ultra precise. I can't make a mistake because it's the height of a tile plus the grout joint. Holding the tape measure each time can lead to measurement errors. This is extremely precise. So next, I have a tile that's gonna go here. I could put my niche in it, so 30 cm. Or if I want to make the niche bigger and put it higher, I use 2 tiles and there will be a joint in the niche, okay? So we'll look at this niche later. For now, let's focus on the Geberit niche. The reference is here, 11,590. The reinforcement that will go underneath, 11,595. You'll have all the links in for now. It's just the skeleton of the niche. We'll address everything about finishing much later. So it's going to fit into this structure. The Geberit rail, the studs, I've marked everything. A stud here. There will be one here, of course. So one there. And here, this is where my drywall will stop. So the clip, you see, there we go. And we go all the way up to the ceiling. It's clipped into the top rail. So we're going to place all the studs, install this niche, and then we'll tackle this one. Now that the rails are set on the floor and ceiling with reinforcement above, I can position my 3 studs. Everything is already marked, so I know where they go. I'll grab the camera soon. I'll get as close as I can to the top and bottom rails so you can see every detail. So the idea is to take the stud, position it according to my markings. There, I'm good, and I lower it, I clip it in place. And if I need to move it a little to the left or right, I just need to tap it a bit. A little tap on the top and it goes in. And if you have a sloped ceiling, the top tilts, it adapts to sloped ceilings. I take my second stud, I position it here, I turn it, I shift it a little bit. And we're good. This one will go here. And the advantage of this system is that if you have a limited space, you need to put a second stud. For example, if I have to put it right next to this one, I turn it, it's clipped in, I lower it, and there you go, I can place a stud in a tight space. I don't have to put it in at an angle, like with a drywall stud in 48, 70 or 100. And if I need to remove it, I pull on it, turn it, and take it out. And this one, we're going to position it here. There we go. That's it. They're in position now, right at the edge of the shower tray. The partition wall comes next. Now that they're in position, I have a good 50 centimeters between these 2 studs. I'll be able to install the niche and the reinforcement just below. The studs are installed. They go all the way up to the ceiling. We're good. And for those wondering, yes, that's a towel on the window. It's to avoid backlighting. I had put up a piece of cardboard, but it wouldn't stay. And I also put on cut-resistant gloves because I just cut myself. So wear PPE, it'll keep you from making mistakes. Here's what the niche looks like. For now, what I'm interested in is the blue part, the blue metal frame. The yellow cardboard will be removed along with the waterproofing membrane. I don't need it for now. We'll put it back once we've installed the drywall and done the waterproofing. The instructions and screws are provided with the blue support that will go under the niche. And we're good. You'll see, it's extremely easy to install. I made sure to center the niche on 3 tiles. Here, this is the bottom of the niche with 65 mm of tile under the niche, and it's the same at the top with 65 mm of tile above the niche. So we're going to fasten this to the studs. You'll see, it's super simple. So I'm going to place the reinforcement between the 2 studs, and the reinforcement has a stop here. So basically, it's going to go up against the stud. If I turn it over, you see there, we can't go any further. The idea is to put it this way. Here, we have holes. Under the niche, there are pegs that will go into the holes. So we have to be flush everywhere. We can't make a mistake. So we position it, there we go. And so I set up the laser. The laser comes right up to the reinforcement, really just underneath. And for now, to hold the reinforcement, I'm going to use, let me grab them, locking pliers. So if you're interested, you'll find the link in the description. The advantage is that it's just this, there you go, and it holds by itself. This one, we're going to lower it. I'll line up with my laser line. I'm good. We're pretty good. Let's tighten it. I can't see the laser on this one because I'm in front of it. Let's lower it a little bit. And now we're pretty good. I'll even raise it a little bit. And we're good. So now all we have to do is secure everything with self-drilling screws. Next, install the niche using 2 screws at the top, and that's it. I'll film the screwing in part later. For now, we're focusing on this step. So, a self-drilling screw, a 10mm socket. The screw, there we go, we put it in. And it's done. We're going to put one here. So for this side, it's the same. We remove the clamp. The reinforcement is fixed. We're going to place the niche with the pegs in the holes. 2 screws on top and we're done. So next we take the niche, and as I was saying, there are little pegs underneath. We place them in the holes. And at the back, the brackets are here. It butts up against the studs. So I can't make a mistake. I'm picking up my awesome clamp again. We're good. Still using the self-drilling screws. It's done. The niche is installed. We're level, we're plumb. Everything is just fine. 4 screws at the bottom, 2 screws at the top. We put in the reinforcement. We install the niche. You see, nothing complicated. So here we have our laser all the way along. We're good. It's level. And for plumb, well, I'm in front of the laser. It's right here. And here you can see it. It's there. We're spot on. So for now, we'll leave it like this. This is just the structure of the niche. We'll take care of the finishing later. I need to close up here between the wall and about halfway, well, not about exactly halfway, across the pipe so that we can then continue with our drywall. And by closing this side, I'll be able to create my niche since I need to attach it to something. So we're going to put up this drywall. And to screw it into the stud and the rail, we use drywall screws, but with a self-drilling tip. And you'll find them in this box. So they come in 45. Here I have some in 35 and in 25.
Right.
Here's what it looks like. So it's a drywall screw with a self-drilling tip, and I'll be able to go through the studs. I secure them from the top, fixed. And by going through them, since here I have the male part inside the female part, you see, you can hear that it moves. So by screwing the 2 studs together, obviously it won't move anymore. It'll become a single stud.
So I went to cut
My drywall panel. I spared you that. I'm going to place it here on the strip. There, we're pretty good. And so I come to the middle of the tube so I can continue with the tapered edge all the way to the end. There you go, it stays up on its own. I can free up my hands, which is convenient. So I take my self-drilling screw. The key is to let the machine and screw do the work, not to force it. And there you go. It's as simple as that. So I move the camera closer and then you'll see, it goes in by itself. And here, I've gone through both walls, so both the male and female studs. Subtitling, set. In the corner, I have the track and we'll use the same screw. We'll go slowly without forcing it and see the screw come out the other side since we can access the track. Subtitling selected. The tracks and studs are cut thanks to this superb Edma shear, the cutter trick. You place it, press down, and it cuts by itself. It's super clean, no sparks, cold cutting, it's perfect. I'm keeping the 2 leftover pieces of rail that will go on the sides. On the sides. Here and there, so yes, there are a lot of marks on the walls, that's normal, I'll explain everything to you. I made little waves on the 1 meter line so I wouldn't make a mistake. So the blue mark here is my 1 meter finished floor line. But I could make a mistake. Put the rail here when it should be on the black mark or the green mark. That's why I scribbled on it. So I made several marks, let me explain. The black mark, the green mark. The black mark corresponds to the rail that will go on the front. You see, I drew the whole outline. So the black mark, that's really the one that will be in front on the facade. And the green mark is the one that will be against the plasterboard, and that's also my slope. So there's a black mark, a second black mark, a first green mark, and a second green mark. Track. And then the green mark with the slope simulates the finished tile surface. So the thickness of the plasterboard, the thickness of the tile. You need to allow for about 2 centimeters. It's important to calculate it. So here, I don't need the slope. I still simulated the rail, the thickness of the plasterboard and the tile, but without the slope, it's absolutely useless since it's underneath. You have to calculate it because 2 cm plus 2 cm might not seem like much, but that's 4 cm with my 30 cm, I end up with a niche of 26 cm. So, if you really want a 30 cm niche, you have to subtract the thickness of the plasterboard and the tile. So my green line comes here. You see, you can make out the slope, and the black line comes to point 0. That's the one that will be on the front. And we're good. So anyway, I'm going to install everything. You'll understand as we go along, but you have to think of everything. So here, the idea is to put in a track, a stud, an angle bracket. You can use whatever you want. It's just to have a stop for the panel that will go on top and underneath for the upper box. Just to have a stop. I'm using a stud since I have more than tracks and angle brackets, but use whatever you prefer. I'll start with the back, because once my structure is assembled at the front, obviously my screwdriver won't fit anymore. So I need to attach it to the studs that go here, 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 and here. Otherwise, I'd need an angle adapter, but I don't since I can do it now. I'm also going to glue them with Rupson FT101 polymer adhesive. This stuff sticks really well. It's just to free up my hands so I can grab the screwdriver and the screws. Just long enough to drive the screws so my stud doesn't move at all. Because I'm going to use this line as a reference, and of course, I want to stay in front of it. So we're going to glue it directly. We take the stud, the track, or it could even be an angle bracket. It doesn't matter, and we press it in place. There are holes, so be careful not to get your gloves in them. Otherwise, you'll get glue all over your gloves. And press down. It'll hold on its own. You can even move it a little bit. So that's it. There you go. Perfect. And now I can free up my hands. It holds on its own. I could even leave it like that. After 24 hours, you can hit it. It won't come off. So next, the drill driver, the screws. And we attach it to the studs, and we make sure everything is properly aligned. And there you go. It's so strong the glue overflows. That one, it lifted it up a little bit, and now we're good. So if with all that it still gets pulled off, I don't get it. So now let's move to the top and we do exactly the same thing. So, for the ceiling, it's exactly the same story. I put on some glue, and here, the idea is to line up right with the mark. And I placed a reinforcement just above. There you go. Line up right with the mark, and there you go. And it will hold on its own. And this glue, honestly, the Ripson FT101, you can trust it completely. It's amazing. Thank you. You have the link in the description if you want a glue that really holds, like unbelievably strong, I can let go. You can feel it hold and act like a suction cup. Incredible. And since I have my wooden reinforcement just above, well, I can screw it in. And there you go. Here, I'm anchored in the wooden backing. It won't go anywhere, honestly. But you still have to put in what's needed because the weight of the plaster board, plus its reinforced board, which is heavier than a regular board, plus the weight of the tiles, even if it's going to be supported on the sides, you still have to make sure it's secure. And there you go, now we move on to the floor. So now we're at floor level. I put the strip under the track, I placed the track on my marks. Let's say we're good. There we go. The nail gun. So, the nail gun is so powerful that it bends the wings a little bit, but then you just have to straighten it out, you see? There we go. And anyway, with the stud that's going to go in, they'll get back into shape. So now, what I'm going to do is glue a scrap piece of plywood that's been lying around the workshop for a while and I haven't used at all. I'm going to glue it behind the drywall. I have a stud to fix at the top and bottom, and rather than bothering with expansion anchors, I'm also going to glue the studs. Everything will be glued, and I'll screw directly into the scrap piece. The plywood will cover the entire height of the drywall, and now I'm good. I can reach my arm behind it, so I can hold the plywood while I screw it in. And anyway, it's going to be glued, it won't move. So, still using Ripson FT101. I'm going to position myself like this. It'll be easier. I'll fast forward this part. There we go, glue everywhere. Now I can put it in place. I got the drill and a long screw. I'm heading to the other side since I know where to place the studs. I'll use the middle of the stud. I'm going to go through and I'll know where to place my piece of plywood based on the 2 holes I'm going to make. So, I don't know if you'll be able to see them on video. I can see them. There are 4 holes. I know I need to place the middle of my plywood board over the holes. But since it's pretty wide, I think it's going to hit the rail that's here and it's going to stick out. So, I take the piece of plywood and bring it over. So, I look, yes, anyway, it's pretty wide. We're good. There, it's holding. I'll go to the other side. I'll put in 2 screws so that this board bends a little. I'm for dragging it into the workshop just to hold it. Then we can put in the uprights. Anyway, once the glue is dry, it won't move anymore. So, it was going to stick. I put in 4 screws to hold it. In the meantime, let's go to the other side with the camera. We attach the studs directly to the plywood board, and I could even cut off what's sticking out above the screw heads to hold the board. So now, we're going to put the stud into the track, screwed through the drywall, and into the plywood wood reinforcement we put behind it. Of course, there's glue. I'm lining up with the mark. Alright, I'm going to put my gloves back on because I took them off and those fins are really sharp. It's crazy. So here, we're going to install the stud with expansion anchors. Honestly, I should have planned ahead and put a wooden reinforcement behind the drywall when I installed it. It's fine, expansion anchors will work. Plus the glue.
Subtitling Radio Company. Under Radio Company.
I still have to install 2 tracks that will go from stud to stud at the top and bottom. We'll be able to crimp them and install intermediate studs. I'll put 4 at the top and 4 at the bottom. Next, we cut drywall panels, screw them in, and we're done with the niche. So now I'm going to turn my back to you. It's not polite, but I have no choice to place the tracks. It holds by itself. I'll get something to crimp it, and then, as I said, intermediate stud, we cut, we screw, and it's done. The structure is finished. It's super sturdy. You could hang from it. Now I just have to insulate it. I'll put in a minimum amount of insulation. Rock wool, glass wool, I'll see. And then we put up the boards. Underneath, of course, I'll put a plasterboard with the LED strip, and I'll already fix the aluminum profile onto the plasterboard. That'll save me from fixing it underneath. And what I did is, I made a hole here and a hole at the bottom with the hole saw. So this one will be used both to pass the LED strip through and especially to be able to retrieve it from the ceiling. I also need to make a hole in case I ever need to change it one day. It will also serve as ventilation because it will connect with the hole at the bottom, which will connect with the bathtub. It's very important. It's a box and I prefer that it has ventilation even if it's going to be insulated. If there can be a bit of airflow, that's even better. So now we'll proceed with the insulation. We'll put up the panels and then we'll take care of the LED strip. Alright, final stretch. We finished this niche. All that's left is to screw in this drywall panel with the aluminum profile for the LED strip that I glued a few hours ago. So now it doesn't move at all. I made a hole in it big enough to pass the LED strip through and most importantly, to change it if it ever breaks down. I unhook the old one, hook up the new one, pull out the old one, and then I can thread the new one through. In this profile, of course, there's a diffuser that I'm going to put in, which I'll remove when I do the tiling, because if I start tiling around the diffuser, I won't be able to take it out anymore. So now we're going to stick the LED strip on. Once the panel is screwed in underneath, I'll connect it temporarily. We'll look at the final wiring later, knowing that at first I wanted to put it above, so in the attic. And maybe I'll put it near the mixer valve in a junction box, since at the mixer and the same for the bathtub, I'll have a hatch, an access point, so we'll see about all that. For now, we'll screw this in, stick the LED strip, turn it on, and see how it looks. Alright, for this niche, it's done. The structure is built, we've put up the panels, the LED strip is installed. So in the end, nothing complicated. The longest part is building the structure. I haven't talked to you about the drywall panels, but as you saw, it's the solid rock from Signat, the same one I used for the perimeter. So, it's a high-strength plasterboard, moisture resistant, it's also soundproof, it's top-notch. However, it's heavier than a standard plasterboard. You should know that, but honestly, it's super sturdy. So, this niche is done. We've got the LED strip. The structure for the Gabarit niche is finished as well. So, it separates the shower from the bathtub. We're going to rebuild exactly the same one, 10 cm further away. So, I'll have a gap between the two structures to run all my plumbing. And also, I'm going to put a junction box for the power supply of the LED strip in the niche. So the LED strip, I haven't really talked to you about it yet. I kept it simple and ordered on Amazon. The visual is here and the link's in the description. So, it's 12 volts IP65, that's very important. It's 18 watts, 1500 lumens, 50,000 hours. The profile is the same. I'll add the link in the description. There are different widths and thicknesses for your tiles. Still, this small LED strip is enough to create an atmosphere. I could have put a multicolor strip with a remote control, but let's not make things complicated. I could have even separated the LED strip from the main lighting. But if I start to separate it, at first we'll have fun turning it on. But after a while, we won't turn it on anymore, it'll just be a gadget. So it's better if it turns on with the bathroom lights, or at the same time as the shower. I'm wondering if it wouldn't be a good idea to separate the shower from the bathroom. If I'm using the bathtub, do I really need to light up the shower? We'll see. In the next video, we're going to tackle the bathtub. We'll start by installing the partition to separate the bathroom from the hallway, the structure of the bathtub. So, we've got quite a bit of work to do, but you'll see it's pretty much the same principle. It's about framing. We install the bathtub, and we're going to build a tub apron against the wall where the window is, okay? Hello, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. See you in the next video, and until then, take care.